Oh, this is Test Inn. Where the hell's Pandera Inn? Sounds familiar. Okay. Oh, this is confusing. Because that's a Testa Inn. Oh. Pandera is the casino place. Ugh, I never remember. Annoying. Such a rock hard body. I'm surprised this being a working design game that there isn't an actual hot spring you can visit. That's pretty much a thing that's in like every working design game that I can think of. Ugh. Someone's biking in the snow, moron. Okay. Fiance named Duke. Ow. I punched myself in the head. Once he got the money, he left, just disappeared. That's fraud, but apparently there's a mysterious police force that can now actually enforce that. Weird enough. Of course you've been conned. Yeah. Boy, he'd never do that. Boy, I really hope you find him. Shocked, I tell you. Well, if you don't pay back your loans, late payments and other things will start coming up, and it'll just snowball effect. Although I think, truthfully, you shouldn't have to pay interest on your interest. I think that's the wrong part. But that's how credit cards work. I don't particularly want Tosh in my party. Particularly don't really need to do anything else with him. Okay, well, I'll just beat him up. I say, what's going on here? Pip pip. I can grease it with a sword. You bastard. Well, yeah, I mean, technically I can kill you. Ugh. That's like a common con for... Oh, God. I'm stuck. Blanket stuck in wheels. Oh, there we go. Was to have someone who works for the loan shark date someone, then get them racked up in debt, and then dump the debt on them and disappear for a little while, and then find another man or woman to con. Ugh. Okay. So he's in the casino. Never heard of loan sharks or predatory loans near casinos. That's just a falsehood. Never happened. Casinos are innocent. Gambling addiction isn't real. I think you'd at least change your name or use a false name. Or he could just run away. Probably would have been better to hire at least some bodyguards if you're going to be rich. You're sorry. Sure. I guess he's in the business of wasting money. Or at least getting some trim. Oh, sorry. I was just about to swallow, and she's like, "Oh, you came back." Gullible people. Yep. No, if you sign for it, it is your debt. Like, sorry, but no. He may have swindled you, but you still are a co-signer. He can default on it, and it's your responsibility. Love is stupid. It's a stupid reason to do something stupid like that. Yeah, but he doesn't love you. Love is a mutual thing. You're infatuated with him, and he doesn't love you. See ya, suckers. Yep, well, mission accomplished. Clue about the interest or a loophole? Yeah. Highly doubt it. Let me see what the actual right answer was. If there was one, or just everything leads back to it. So... oh, yeah. The answer doesn't matter. It's a non-choice. Yep. You must accept the fact that Duke never loved you. By the way, girl, I'm going to shatter your dreams. The worst part is, even after it's all said and done, she'll probably still love him. That's the scary part about people that quote-unquote love people. But love is a two-way street. Like, people who say they love someone even though the person doesn't rescind it is creepy. You need to disappear for a while. The real question is, where does he get all this money to actually loan? Unless he's just recycling money he's making off of people. Then again, that's like payday loans. How they've like busted payday loans. Because payday loans were crazy. There was one that had like 270% interest. And it was due... it was like due every day or something ridiculous. So like if you spent like 7 days out, you could have, you know, like 1,000 times what you originally purchased or borrowed for. And they had another payday loan that was like, it was like something ridiculous, like 45%. Of course, due daily, but you had to wait a minimum of at least 25 days before you could repay it. Like, there was a repay limit. It's like, freaking serious? Like, that's not shady as hell. That they had to get a certain amount of interest before you could repay it. So people would end up paying like 3 to 4 times as much. Stupid. I don't know anyone that would actually sign that. Like, yeah, it sucks that you need money, but sometimes you're better off just letting something go. Like cutting out cable or something out of your life. Because you can get credit from like a garage if it's like your car or something. If it's your apartment, the best thing you can do is talk to your apartment or talk to a government agency and see if you can get like a deal. So that way, like if you don't make enough. Or sometimes you just gotta move. My wife and I actually had to move out of an apartment because it was going to go up by... nice. Because it was going to go up by $400 every month. Which was essentially went up by a third. So we were like, yeah, no. And they had automatic increases every year you stay there. And the most you could sign was a year lease. It's a nice apartment, but I loved it, but no. If you leave us with a debt, I cannot cancel the marriage contract. Ho ho ho. Hey, love is blind. Most blind things are stupid. Just like justice has a tendency to be stupid. A chance for Duke to go straight. I've never seen him in lavender. That's not what I meant. And another loveless, blowjobless marriage was made. Ugh, I don't understand people that get married in like generally miserable situations or without any communication. Like, I just don't get all the people that have, like, resentment or fight with their significant other or do it because they want to show, like, an extra set of devotion or women that demand it. Stuff like that. Crazy. And, like, if you can't get along like human beings with your significant other, why don't get married? Just don't. It's not worth your time. I've been in enough things that could have been grenades I could have married. That would have just, like, ruined my life. I know at least one person who's gotten married, and it's been, like, an absolute ruin to his life. She like smashes his car whenever like he dates another girl. Like they have a kid together and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, and he's like, if I could go back in time, I would have never done it. It's like, okay. And the worst part is like, they're not married. She fools around with other dudes, but then like comes home and is like, well, not home. Actually, well, I can go to North. But she'll like stop by and be like, yeah, you need to get with me because I'm feeling a little lonely. And he's just like, okay. But like he can't have a girlfriend. And yeah, it's fucked up. But their whole relationship was fucked from the beginning. And they had like a miserable divorce. She tried to like take him to cleaners. She like quit her job when they first signed the papers. And then tried to say that like, oh, he was supporting me and all this. When no, she just like quit her job and moved in with her parents. Okay, Item Society Village. Well, let's go to the Item Society Village and see what they need. Society. But yeah, I don't understand people that are in marriage misery. That's probably the worst thing I could imagine. But most people most people marry people for looks as opposed to brains and mutual likes. Or they can't deal with the fact that likes shift over time. I don't even think anyone should get married until they're 25. Live with each other for at least 5 years. What's in the document? Yes. No one saw it. Phantom Masterpiece. Search and hope for the best. Sure. Let's just go ahead and expedite this mission as fast as possible. Alright, let's look up this mission because I'm not running around. Alright, so where is this? Okay. Okay, so first we go to the weapons. Something to do with secret items. Okay, you still say the same thing. Okay. Ugh, you actually have to travel around the world. Well, that's annoying. Yeah, head south, start to loot, and talk to the societies at Testa. Ugh, annoying. I have bemoan missions where they just have you run around the world talking to people. It's so stupid. It's just tedious. Sakat had come. No idea what any of it means. An unproven theory. So basically this mission requires you to talk to guilds in a specific order, and that's annoying. Okay. So that's taken care of. I have to go back up north. And then we have to go all the way ass out to Jaharta, I believe, next. Cord, don't get wrapped up in the blanket. Thank you. Okay. Okay, yeah, Jaharta. Come on. Come on. Cooperate. Right, hold on. I need to straighten myself up. Because my blanket has fallen. And it is quite uncomfortable. Ow. Alright. There we go. Let's get nice and comfy. So we do a lot of traveling. There we go. It's the key to doing anything, and that's staying warm. Unless you're out in the sun. Then don't do that. Oh. I might hope if I talk to someone. You know, this is what you have scribes and stuff for. There we go. Thank you. Ugh, I hate roller wheels on chairs. They're the worst. I always have a tendency to drift away from my desk or get stuff caught under the wheels. At my old job, I used to get stuff stuck in the wheels all the time. Alright, come on. Stop being fussy. There we go. Thank you, blanket. Only mages know math. Okay. Yep, and then we go to Paltos. Well, let's go talk to Seacat's son, Horus. How can you have a cool name like Seacat or Seacat and you name your son Horus? Fucking boring. Alright. Okay. Yeah. I was just seeing if there's anything else we had to do. Wrong way. Paltos in Perut. And then he's going to give us something else. Then we have to go to another one and then back. Ugh. And the Weapon Society is down here. With communication, how is really all this that hard? Oh, no. Return to Testa. Ugh. No, Testa... Yeah. Testa's in South Solarto. I can never remember all these names. The village names really don't fit where they are. Let me go to the Weapon Society here. Ugh, this is like the ultimate fetch quest. Fucking fetch quests. Okay. So Sukkot and Lashat knew each other. Lashat knew each other. Ugh. Yeah. So this is already way too much work for little to no reward. Fucking 540 game bucks. And 8 merits. Like, really? This should be like 36 merits. Alright. Turn to Pesos. You think you could just put out a memo to, like, all the guilds to have them send any information regarding the thing? Okay, and this one's the item. Yeah, so I have to go to the weapons. That's monster. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do the monster card thing because I don't really feel like traveling around the world and capturing specific monsters just to do one thing. Like, that's kind of just a waste of time. This is a waste of fucking time. So back to Item Society Village. You know, I was kind of hoping that we'd be near the actual end of the game. And now it seems even farther away. I think it's going to take the rest of this week to finish it. Mostly because these missions are like the biggest time waster missions ever. But I think there's only like 2 more missions left in this chain. That was weird. Ugh. You didn't think to look in your father's journal. Why did my bro, I mean Lashat, not announce the discovery officially? Yeah, scientific infighting is a common thing. Like, the one thing that's always bothered me, because it's in the Franklin Institute, is... go ahead and just get through this. I mean, most people think of Edison and Tesla. But I always think of the IBM one, where there was a special core processor was created, and they always attribute it to this one random black guy. But the worst part is that he had a team of like 30-some people that he was working with, and it's pretty much come out, like, because they always say, like, oh, like, well, African American, this guy found processors. We wouldn't have processors today if it wasn't for him. He apparently did none of the research or anything, and he basically took credit for all the people's work and left them unnamed. And apparently a lot of them went on to create bigger advancements in microprocessors. But the guy never spent a single day of his life actually doing anything with microprocessors other than being a manager of a group that did it. But his understanding is little to none regarding it, other than being a manager for the division. Like, fucking asshole. But he basically, like, took their papers before they were going to have it published, and went and published them himself. There's a whole big scandal about it. But people still say, like, oh, he's an African-American hero. What, for stealing a whole bunch of people's research work? That's not a hero. It's a thief. Just like Edison is a thief with a lot of his stuff. And Bill Gates. And we found it. Let's see what this says. My dear son, by the time you read this, I shall no longer walk this world. Once I have passed, there will be no evidence of what really happened, so I must make a record of it. And you may find what I am about to reveal painful, but it must be told. Many people have wondered the mysteries surrounding the secret of Itemas document. I must now admit that the theories in this document are not my own creation. My esteemed associate Lachalt suggested the main theory introduced in this book. My ideas and theories were far too narrow to get a glimpse of the truly larger scientific picture. My narrow vision resulted in a huge error in my theory, and it was Lachalt that corrected it. When I realized the brilliance of his insight, I grew afraid. I felt that the Research Congress would somehow look down on me if I revealed the truth. I couldn't let them see my weakness, so the night before I rewrote the entire document. At the Research Congress, I introduced the theory as wholly as my own, with no mention of Lachalt. The document was received with great acclaim, far greater than I had expected. Rather than making me happy, all the extra attention made me miserable. You see, I feared that someone would learn of my deception. That was when I decided to hide the secret of Itemas to prevent its publication. I know this will be difficult for you, son. Please do not let this stop you from becoming the great researcher you will be. My greatest regret remains Lachalt. That's weird. I am ashamed forever that I betrayed his trust and dedication. I was too cowardly to apologize to him. I suppose that in a way this letter is my apology to him at last. Sakat. Alright. Yeah, I mean, researchers are still people. Yep, it's probably better if we take that from you. So things can be properly credited. I don't know. That's also like the Einstein thing, where they think that Einstein's wife and another junior researcher helped him discover relativity and other parts of his theory. That Einstein himself didn't write all of it, that he essentially used a group and then published the paper as if it was his own. And same thing with a lot of people attribute him to the nuclear bombs, but The reality is that it was the work of many hardworking researchers, but a lot of people attribute it to him just because he was one of the most charismatic and came up with all these other theories. I mean, I'm not denying that he's a genius. I'm just saying that some of his work is incorrectly attributed as he was the only person that worked on it, which isn't true. I mean, worked in conjunction with, not like people who came up with similar ideas. Okay. Well, that was a huge waste of time.